Welcome to Mr. Dread, the most terrifying corner on YouTube, where secrets and unsolved cases hide in the dark. Here we dive into the world of puzzles and brutal murders and bloody crimes, where we reveal the most horrifying cases and the latest investigations without leaving any terrifying details undiscovered. Get ready for the journey through the most evil aspects of our world, where deadly secrets await to be revealed. Subscribe now and join us in uncovering the secrets hidden in the dark, and don't miss a moment of this terrifying journey through the shadows. Scary story. What if you heard a scream that was not only terrifying, but also your own? What if you woke up in a hospital only to discover that you had died and come back to life? What if you realized that the scream was still inside you and that it wanted more than just your blood? This is the story of a nightmare that became a reality that became a scream. You don't know how long you've been living in this house, or why you chose to move here in the first place. All you know is that ever since you arrived, strange things have been happening that defy any rational explanation. Things that make you question your sanity and your safety. It started with the noises. At first, they were subtle and easy to ignore. A faint scratching in the walls, a low moan in the basement, a distant thud in the attic. You told yourself it was just the old house settling, or the wind playing tricks on your ears. You tried to focus on your work, your hobbies, your friends. Anything to distract yourself from the creeping dread that gnawed at your mind. But the noises grew louder and more frequent until they became impossible to ignore. They invaded your dreams, your thoughts, your every waking moment. They followed you wherever you went, mocking you, taunting you. They seemed to have a life of their own, a malicious intent that sought to drive you mad. You tried to find the source of the noises, to confront them, to end them. But every time you searched the house, you found nothing. No signs of rodents, insects, or intruders. No cracks, holes, or vents. No clues, no answers, no relief. Only more questions, more fear, more despair. You wondered if you were losing your mind, if you were imagining things, if you were going crazy. You considered calling someone for help, a friend, a relative, a therapist. But you were too ashamed, too embarrassed, too afraid. You didn't want to admit that you were hearing things, that you were scared of your own home, that you were alone. You felt trapped, isolated, hopeless. You had no one to talk to, no one to trust, no one to save you. You had only yourself and the noises that haunted you, that hunted you, that hated you. And then, one night, the noises changed. It was a night like any other, dark and silent, except for the noises. You were lying in bed, trying to sleep, trying to ignore them. You had learned to tune them out, to block them from your mind, to pretend they didn't exist. You had learned to cope, to survive, to endure. But that night, something was different. Something was wrong. You heard a new noise, a noise that you had never heard before. A noise that chilled you to the bone. It was a scream that pierced the air, that shattered the silence, that echoed through the house. A scream that sounded human, but not quite. A scream that sounded familiar, but not quite. A scream that sounded like You bolted upright in bed, your eyes wide, your heart pounding, your breath ragged. You looked around, trying to locate the source of the scream, trying to understand what was happening, trying to make sense of the madness. But you saw nothing. Nothing but darkness, nothing but shadows, nothing but emptiness. You wondered if you had dreamed it, if you had imagined it, if you had hallucinated it. You wondered if you were still asleep, if you were still dreaming, if you were still sane. You pinched yourself, hoping to wake up, hoping to escape, hoping to end the nightmare. But you felt nothing. Nothing but pain, nothing but fear, nothing but reality. You realized that you were awake, that you were not dreaming, that you were not insane. You realized that the scream was real, that the scream was in the house, that the scream was coming for you. You realized that you were in danger, that you were in trouble, that you were in hell. You grabbed your phone, hoping to call for help, hoping to reach someone, hoping to find a way out. But you had no signal, no bars, no network, no service. You realized that you were cut off, that you were disconnected, that you were alone. You had only yourself and the scream. The scream that haunted you, that hunted you, that hated you. You got out of bed, hoping to run, hoping to hide, hoping to survive. But you had nowhere to go. No exit, no escape, no salvation. You realized that you were trapped, that you were cornered, that you were doomed. You had only yourself and the scream that was getting closer, that was getting louder, that was getting angrier. You reached for the door, hoping to open it, hoping to close it, hoping to lock it. But you were too late, too slow, too weak, too scared. You realized that you were caught, that you were exposed, that you were helpless. You had only yourself and the scream that was right behind you, that was right beside you, that was right in front of you. You turned around, hoping to see it, hoping to face it, hoping to fight it. But you saw nothing. Nothing but darkness, nothing but shadows, nothing but emptiness. You realized that you were blind, that you were deaf, that you were numb. You had only yourself and the scream that was inside you, that was part of you, that was you. You opened your mouth, hoping to speak, hoping to scream, hoping to end it. But you said nothing, nothing but silence, nothing but noise, nothing but the scream. The scream that was the last thing you ever heard, the last thing you ever felt, the last thing you ever did. The scream that was the end of you, the end of everything, the end of the story. You don't know how you survived or why you survived. All you know is that you woke up in a hospital bed, surrounded by doctors, nurses, and police officers. They told you that you were lucky, that you were a miracle, that you were alive. They told you that they found you in your house, lying on the floor, covered in blood. They told you that you had multiple stab wounds, fractures, and burns. They told you that you had no pulse, no breath, no signs of life. They told you that they tried to revive you, to resuscitate you, to save you. They told you that they failed, that they gave up, that they pronounced you dead. They told you that they were about to take you to the morgue, to the autopsy, to the grave. They told you that they were shocked, that they were stunned, that they were speechless. They told you that you came back to life, that you opened your eyes, that you screamed. You don't remember any of it, or rather, you don't want to remember any of it. You don't want to think about what happened, what you saw, what you did. You don't want to think about the scream that was inside you, the scream that was part of you, the scream that was you. You don't want to think about the horror that was in the house, the horror that was in the dark, the horror that was in the scream. You don't want to think about the truth that was hidden, the truth that was revealed, the truth that was in the scream. You don't want to think about anything at all. You just want to forget, to erase, to delete, but you can't. You can't forget, you can't erase, you can't delete. Because the scream is still there, still inside you, still part of you. The scream that won't let you go, that won't let you rest, that won't let you die. The scream that wants you to remember, to relive, to repeat. The scream that wants you to suffer, to bleed, to scream. You try to ignore it, to suppress it, to silence it. You try to medicate it, to sedate it, to anesthetize it. You try to fight it, to resist it, to defy it. But you can't. You can't ignore it. You can't suppress it. You can't silence it. You can't medicate it. You can't sedate it. You can't anesthetize it. You can't fight it. You can't resist it. You can't defy it. Because the scream is stronger, stronger than you, stronger than anything, stronger than everything. The scream that controls you, that manipulates you, that dominates you. The scream that makes you do things that you don't want to do, things that you can't explain, things that you can't stop. Things like hurting yourself, hurting others, hurting everyone. Things like killing yourself, killing others, killing everyone. Things like screaming. You don't know why you do it or how you do it. All you know is that you do it, that you have to do it, that you can't help it. You do it because the scream tells you to, because the scream makes you to, because the scream forces you to. You do it because the scream is angry, because the scream is hungry, because the scream is thirsty. You do it because the scream wants blood, because the scream wants pain, because the scream wants death. You do it because the scream wants more screams, more horrors, more truths. You do it because the scream wants you, all of you, only you. You do it because the scream loves you, because the scream needs you, because the scream is you. You don't know how to stop it, or if you can stop it. All you know is that you want to stop it, that you need to stop it, that you have to stop it. You want to stop it because you are afraid, because you are sorry, because you are human. You need to stop it because you are hurting, because you are suffering, because you are dying. You have to stop it because you are responsible, because you are guilty, because you are the cause. You are the cause of the scream that was inside you, the scream that was part of you, the scream that was you. You are the cause of the horror that was in the house, the horror that was in the dark, the horror that was in the scream. You are the cause of the truth that was hidden, the truth that was revealed, the truth that was in the scream. You are the cause of everything that happened, everything that is happening, everything that will happen. You are the cause of the end of you, the end of everything, the end of the story. You don't know how to end it or when to end it. All you know is that you will end it, that you must end it, that you will end it soon. You will end it because you have a plan, because you have a weapon, because you have a chance. You will end it because you have a choice, because you have a will, because you have a voice. You will end it because you have a scream that is inside you, a scream that is part of you, a scream that is you, a scream that is the beginning of the end, the beginning of the end of the story. A scream that is the last thing you will ever hear, the last thing you will ever feel, the last thing you will ever do. A scream that is the end of you, the end of everything, the end of the story, the end. Thank you for joining us for this spine-tingling story. We hope you found it both thrilling and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please consider participating in our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. Your support goes a long way in helping us create more engaging content for you. Goodbye, and may you always tread carefully in the world of the unknown.